You step into the terminal, and the first thing you notice is noise. Trolleys, a distant public address announcement, the metallic rattle of suitcase wheels. The assistance desk is a few steps past the main check-in line, a blue sign with a wheelchair icon and a polite agent behind glass. Your heart may race a little because you don't use airports often, or you're arranging help for an elderly parent. That mix of bright lights, people moving fast, and the tiny clock on your phone that reads 1 hour to departure is exactly why this guide matters. Start at home.
If your flight happens to be canceled or delayed, Compensair will help you get compensation for the inconvenience and get your money back without wasting time on red tape. Get a refund for your canceled flight right.
The single best move is to add a formal assistance request to the passenger record before you leave the house. Use the airline website. Look for Special Assistance, PRM, or Wheelchair Request, the confirmation email link, or call the airline's phone line, ideally the Special Assistance desk. When you call, have your booking reference, the passenger's full name as on ID, and a short list: mobility aid type, manual wheelchair, electric scooter, cane, whether the passenger can transfer to a seat, whether they need a stretcher, and whether an escort will travel with them. Note: you do not normally need a doctor's note for basic wheelchair or escort help on short flights. More specialized services, airline-supplied stretcher, in-cabin oxygen, do require medical clearance. Put the request on the booking as an SSR or PRM entry and write the confirmation number down. Confirm twice. First, call or re-enter the airline website 48 to 72 hours before departure and verify the SSR/PRM is attached. Second, reconfirm the morning of travel if possible. Large airports can reassign staff and equipment. Reconfirming cuts your risk of arriving to find no wheelchair available. Also check airport maps. Some airports require curbside assistance. Others want you to check in at a dedicated accessibility desk near the terminal entrance or at the airline's check-in island. At the airport, arrive earlier than usual. For domestic flights, 2 hours if you're independent is often fine. For passengers needing assistance, plan 3 hours for check-in, security, and transfer. When you reach the terminal, go straight to the airline's check-in or the clearly marked assistance desk. Give the agent the passenger name, booking reference, and repeat the PRM/SSR code out loud. Tell them the mobility aid type and whether it must be gate-checked or will travel to the aircraft intact. Ask where staff will meet you: curbside, check-in desk, or the gate, and the anticipated wait. When staff arrive, you'll see 2 typical flows: a porter-style wheelchair that moves the passenger through check-in and security to the gate, or a meet and assist, where an agent escorts the passenger to the aircraft door for transfer onto an aircraft aisle wheelchair. If a mobility aid needs to be gate-checked, it will be tagged with a large luggage tag and returned to the aircraft door at arrival or placed in the hold. If it's an electric device, staff must isolate and label the battery per airline rules. Why are these rules strict? Think of it like loading a car onto a ferry. The ground teams, equipment, and vehicle storage space must be coordinated before the ferry arrives. Airlines and ground handlers use the PRM/SSR flags to schedule staff and allocate equipment. If your booking has no flag, staff may be present but not scheduled specifically for your flight, which is why pre-notification is the heart of getting on time. The analogy is simple. You wouldn't expect someone to unload a van for you if you hadn't told the driver you had a wheelchair inside. Costs and risks. The good news is most major airlines do not charge extra for wheelchair assistance or escorted boarding. That service is free under many national rules. For example, the US DOT and EU Regulation 1107/2006 protect these rights. The main financial risk is damage to a mobility aid during transport. Repair or shipping of a heavy-powered wheelchair can cost from $50 to several $100s, in some rare cases $1,000 plus for replacement parts or international freight. If you fail to pre-request assistance, the time risk is higher. Missing a flight because no one is available to transfer you can lead to a wait of 1 to several flights, or an overnight rebooking with hotels or meals not covered. Practical numbers. With a confirmed PRM code, missed flight risk drops below 5% at most medium and large airports. Without it, the risk can jump to 15–30% depending on staffing and airport layout. Cheapest, safest, most practical solution. Put the PRM request on the reservation, reconfirm 72 hours out and again the morning of travel, and arrive early. For mobility aids, photograph the device, remove detachable parts and pack them if possible, label everything with contact info, and put the battery in a protective bag with the serial number and manufacturer specs. If the chair must travel in the hold, ensure the airline labels it as fragile and gate checks it if possible, so it's returned at the aircraft door upon arrival. Here's a simple script you can use at check-in. Hello, my name is name, booking reference ABC123. I have a PRM request attached for a manual/electric wheelchair. The passenger can/cannot transfer. Can you confirm the PRM/SSR code and tell me where staff will meet us and when the chair will be gate-checked tagged? Saying those exact words helps the agent find the right code and confirm the return process. Many useful links can be found in the description. A couple of real-world traps and how to refuse them. First, third-party booking sites sometimes do not forward PRM requests to the airline. If you booked through an online aggregator, call the airline directly to add PRM. Second, airlines and airports may offer fast-track assistance or a paid meet and greet. That is a premium upsell and not the same as required disability assistance. Politely decline it unless you want the extra concierge service. Third, some check-in agents will say a mobility aid will not fit and push you to check it in as regular baggage. Insist on the PRM policy and ask to speak with a supervisor if the agent refuses. If an agent claims the airline will not accept liability for a powered wheelchair, ask for the specific policy in writing or a supervisor name and record it. You have the right to have your device handled with care and to file a damage report at the airline's service desk immediately on arrival. If an airline suggests you must buy travel insurance to secure assistance, that's misleading. Assistance for reduced mobility is an operational service tied to passenger safety and access, not an insurance product. The correct refusal is simple. I'm claiming PRM support under airline name policy and local accessibility regulation. Please confirm PRM is on my booking. If they push an upsell, ask firmly for the supervisor and keep a calm tone. If damage occurs, do these things. Photograph the damage before you leave the airport. Find the airline's baggage or assistance desk and file a Property Irregularity Report, PIR, or damage report on the spot. Keep repair receipts and correspondence. Airlines often reimburse proven repair costs. If you encounter refusal or long delays, note names and times and escalate to the airline's disability or customer relations email address after the trip. In many regions, regulators will accept complaints and mediate. A few quick, practical check items. Pack spare straps or covers for a folding wheelchair. If you have a lithium battery, check airline rules and carry manufacturer specs in print. Label the battery and chair clearly. Travel with a small toolkit or basic parts if the device is delicate.
If the passenger uses oxygen or a ventilator, get medical clearance and the airline's medical form completed well before the flight. This is often required and can take days to approve.
Final on-the-day routine. Arrive early, find the assistance desk, produce ID and boarding pass, reconfirm PRM/SSR verbally, accept the agent's guidance on whether your chair will ride to the door or be gate-checked, and photograph the tag the agent attaches to the chair. Keep your phone charged and the airline app open so you can show confirmation screenshots. If something goes wrong at the gate, staff delayed, equipment missing, stay calm, ask to speak to the supervisor, and request a written note of the delay. If you have limited mobility and the gate is crowded, ask for priority pre-boarding or to board at the end of general boarding so staff can move you without a rush. If you found these tips helpful, please consider subscribing. I make short, practical travel guides for people who fly infrequently. Like the video if you want checklists I can turn into printable cards. Thank you for listening, and safe travels.